tweet of the hour. This is the ultimate. This is where when MGTOWs, when the SY, but particularly the SYSBMs, right? When SYSBM dudes, when we see tweets like this is now our time to shine. This is MGTOW's time to shine when we see tweets like this. Now, anybody that's black, we all know, we see this. We always hear this shit every year from black women. Black men. I'm going to read the tweet. Black men, please, I beg you, be a mentor. These boys out here are hurting. They need you. Every year with this same shit, bro. That same bull. Every year. Oh, these black men need bruh. And I remember I did a reply of the tweet back. I said, look, men don't fall for this shit. Now I said, we're done. Like, no, we're not doing this anymore. We are not doing this shit anymore. They need mentors. No, they need a father. Which, they would have had one if their mother didn't run them away. Let's keep it a buck. It's like, thank you. They need their daddy, not us. Where's the daddy at? Oh, but he's not there. Why is he not there? Because he abandoned us. Okay, where did you meet the dad? And then this is when they start getting mad because they don't want to admit that really the only reason why the kid is there and the reason why she decided to keep that one was because she had feelings for the dude. She thought the dude was gonna stay if she decided to keep that one, even though she knew he had another woman. they do, like, women will do these things, right? Or they'll have a decent dude, they whatever, get impregnated by the guy and be like, I'm done with this guy. He's better off dead than alive, so I'm gonna just put this man on child support. And they continue to use tactics via the family court system, the child support system, to separate the father from the kids, particularly the sons. And then now, all of a sudden, he needs a mentor. No, we're not doing this no more. We're not doing this. So you're going to see, and I love this guy right here. Save yourselves, black men. This guy, Jason Terry, off Twitter. And this is the perfect response. So you have a guy right here, a regular black dude. Can I get your number? And a lot of black men been through this in high school or college or middle school. You get called a lame ass ninja, right? Then the street ninjas, the degenerates, come through. They get knocked up by the degenerates. The girl goes back to the pookie, talk about, I'm pregnant. And the guy was already a deadbeat to begin with. He was never going to be there. She knew that. But she still put that out there. He leaves. Now she has all these kids and she's talking about mentor my kids. and the guys are like, the fuck? Ask their pops. Then she makes a tweet like this. Black man, please, I beg you, be a mentor. These boys are out here. They hurting. Nah. And you see, look at the response back. She says, you're sick for this. You should consider using your talents elsewhere. Associating me, who has never made mention of any of these things, with that narrative is absurd. Oh man, but I remember he had some reply backs that I liked. This man, he had some reply backs. Oh no, I don't think that's it. But like, look, lady, if you're listening, no, we're not doing this. we're just not doing this. Black men, if you're listening to this, run and don't look back. Run and don't know. We're not. RP Love, Red Pill Luffy said, "I'm not mentoring Lil Glocktavius. I'm not mentoring Lil NBA young boy, because I done met these ninjas, especially when they grow up." Oh man. Like, I done met these ninjas, especially when they grow up. People don't understand, like, the final product of being around the products, the product of the wretched club bitches, right? Like Corey Holcomb likes to say, the product of wretched club bitches. the offspring of wretched club bitches, and you see how they grow up, and you see you see them in middle school, you see them in high school, and you see how they end up, and you're just like, there's not. What is a mentor going to do for that person? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. But yeah. So right here, then obviously you're gonna see some 304s, the fake pro black 304s. She says sorry, your request is being met with excuses by uncaring and mean men. She says a lot of these men don't care. A lot of these men enjoy seeing women and children suffering. Sadly, women have always had to step in where men fell to. It's not fair, but someone has to care. This is why I don't like talking to hoes about this shit. And this is also another psyops. This is something that has never made sense to me. They'll always say, "Oh, the dad's never there, but he's not there." I'm like, okay, so you were the primary parent in raising these kids, but you're still blaming the dad, even though he was never there. How does that make sense? Can is a single father allowed to blame the absentee mother if the kids that he raised end up not being shit? Does a single father have the luxury to still blame the absentee mother, the most likely drug-ridden mother? Because when you're dealing with like a single father, right? Or if you're dealing with a man that actually won full custody, or you're dealing with a man that had to initiate divorce, that means that woman was so like outrageously bad as a human being. Do single fathers have the luxury to still blame the absentee mothers if the kids that he's raising primarily end up not being shit? Only women still have that luxury. They'll have primary custody. They'll be primarily raising the dudes and the kids. The kids will end up in jail, not being shit, end up being gay or whatever. And the absentee father, right? The so-called absentee father still gets all the blame. I'm like, but he wasn't there. If he wasn't there, right? Like you said, okay, I'll take your word for it. He wasn't there, even though that's false, because most likely she alienated the kid from the father. But fuck it, we'll take your word for it. If he was never there, how is he getting most of the blame? Bruh, that's like that's like okay. Like imagine you have a like that's like blaming. Never mind. But I'll leave that alone. I was gonna bring up something messed up, but to constantly, they're always talking about the absentee father. No, you raised the kid, right? You were the primary caretaker. It's it's your fault. You were doing the raising. How is it still the man that wasn't there? How is it still his fault? How is it still his fault? This is ridiculous. But that's the psyops they ran basically. So anytime a dude does bad or ends up not being shit, we're still blaming the father that was never there. Bro, we're just straight up blaming ghosts. Anything to avoid asking women the tough questions. And these and it's not even, those are not even tough questions. All you got to do is be like, okay, all right, you said the dad was never there. Okay, did he? Well, so did you come to the table with 50-50 custody? What is the custody agreement looking like? And just by asking, what's the custody agreement? And if he had to fight to get 50-50, I'm talking about you were going against the man getting 50-50 custody. When you're looking at the Ginny Mai situation, young Jeezy, he's literally filing for he's filing for joint custody, and she's fighting against it. She like just off that fact alone, Jeannie Mai is disqualified from ever calling young Jeezy a deadbeat, because you're literally fighting against him for not. You're fighting him for wanting to be in a kid's life. You're fighting him for it. You're fighting him, and then once you get primary custody, you're going to talk about he's a deadbeat. But you fought him for primary custody, even though he came to the table and said, "Look, 50-50, we'll do 50-50 custody," which most men do. They'll file joint custody. That's why I tell dudes. I always say this. I tell dudes this. I'll file. It's the Tommy Sotomayor technique. Either file for full custody and make sure you get that full custody, or just give that girl the child support check and then just leave that family. Don't do nothing else more. Just give her the check and just walk away. Just give her the check and just walk away. Because clearly, if you're putting a number on my parentage, okay, this is how much my parentage costs. Here, have a good day. Because if you're not coming to the table on 50-50 and you're getting the courts involved on top of that, oh, okay, all right, you know what, fuck it, you keep it. I'll give you the quote unquote little $300, right? The quote unquote little $200. Oh, that little $200 is why you need it though. Why you need it? Clearly you need it. So hum yourself. Anyway. So right here, this is the tweet I saved. So this man says here, asking responsible black men to mentor today's lost souls is like asking a doctor to put rubbing alcohol on a cancerous tumor. The problem started with the child's conception and then the dysfunctional home he's brought up in. Quote unquote, they need you. No, they needed their mama to pick a better man to procreate with. They needed their biological dad to be a real man and take care of his responsibilities. They needed their community not to promote gangster culture. Every day, y'all fail these kids and then ask a good, productive, responsible black man to step up to the plate. My answer is no. What a this is a beautiful response right here. This is beautiful. You can't even argue that. You can't even argue that. But of course, you're gonna have ninjas still simping in the comment section. You know what I mean? This whole thing of relying on stepdads and strangers to raise all these bastards, and you're wondering why all these young, particularly when you're talking about young women, right? Particularly when you're talking about young women, we're shocked that all these young women are so promiscuous at a young age, or why all these young women are all of a sudden they want to be 304s. You're like, how did this happen? You're she's being raised by strangers and stepdads and the brothers of the stepdads that have no ties to that bastard whatsoever, being around the kid. And you know the statistics around stepdads and abuse and all, bruh. And for some reason people cannot put two and two together. For some weird reason, why all these men are now gay, bruh. If we wanted to actually fix the situation, if you actually want to fix the situation, you would actually bring shame back. You would have it where women are actually starting to promote marry before you carry, right? Simple shit, right? And this whole shit about this child support shit, where basically child support is like the default, or well, like women are thinking about child support first before marriage, like before even girlfriend and boyfriend, they're thinking about child support first. You're just like, before they even think about love, they're thinking about child support and food stamps and all this shit. This is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, wash your hands. Wash your hands. This is why MGTOW exists. This is why SYS, but particularly SYSBM. This is why SYSBM exists. This is why these things exist. But like I said, if you'll explain this to these bastard creators, and they still won't get it. Here, another shaming tactic. So leave them kids in the dust and keep hoping for a better tomorrow. You know what? Yes. Yes. And I'm leaving too, meaning I'm moving from the situation, because they act like most black men are the problem when it's literally a small percentage of black men procreating with most of the women of the community. It's like such a small percentage. And they're active, and women in that community are actively participating in that dual mating strategy type shit. You know what I mean? Get knocked up by the man that she really can't keep around, but then have somebody else raise it. Bruh. Because you could. He said, none of that lifted as we climb shit for me. Shout out to the sister here, man. Shout out to the sister here. Oh, Ayana Fakir, host of the. Oh, by the way, any black men that are listening to this, please follow the Zoe Williams, the Zoe Williams pod, the Zoe Williams show. A lot of the information that I have today is because of Zoe Williams and Corey Holcomb. I'm not even finna cap the shows that they used to. I'm talking about Corey Holcomb and Zoe Williams would used to do shows together. Legendary. I don't know if a lot of them are still up on YouTube. They've done some legendary podcasts together. If you guys get the chance, just search up Corey Holcomb, Zoe Williams, Mansions, and look at the shows they did together. Those were beyond legendary. Like, if I was ever to give a black dudes or black men in particular, okay, what should I watch? I would even really put them on to I'll put them on to some of the stuff I've obviously put them on to, Better Bachelor, right? Aaron Clary, CGA, those guys, right? Obviously, but then I would also put them on to Corey Holcomb and Zoe Williams. When they would go on Mansions, they would have a Mansion series. They would have a lot of guests come on, but it would be primarily Corey and Zoe Williams talking. Legendary. So much gems dropped about manhood, all of that. So whoever Butter Queen is, she's followed by Zoe Williams. So okay, so she must be a decent person. Dahudi Mahat Ra, another great teacher, another great teacher. So he's on the same page as homie. Look, all this stuff about these young boys need mentors, bro. It's too late for that. It's too late for that. Way, way, way too late for that. Right here. This is beautiful. He said he's gonna make that. I gotta put that as my wallpaper or something. Because all this shit about because at the end of it's 2024. Women choose who they procreate with. They are the choosers. They know women know exactly what they're doing out there. They know exactly what they're doing, and when it doesn't turn out their way, they know they can blame it on somebody else and they can get away with it.